What's up guys, welcome back to another Fingerstyle tutorial. Today we're going to be taking a look through my arrangement of Grow As We Go by Ben Platt. If you haven't seen the full version, click the link above or down in the description. It's a really nice song to play. We're in standard tuning, capo on the 8th fret. If you're ready to give it a shot, let's get started. Alright guys, so as I said, we've got a capo on the 8th fret. We're going to be starting with the intro. I'll put the tab along the bottom for you. This is the 1st string, this is the 6th string. So the 4-bar intro sounds like this. Alright, so it's fairly easy to play. You'll notice it's got this kind of alternating bass pattern throughout. Sounds like this. It's really important that by the end of the song you can kind of separate the two parts, the bass and the melody. If you've played a song that has that before, like my shotgun arrangement or any other song that's got like an alternating bass pattern, you should be able to pick this song up fairly easily. If you've not played a song like that before, it might be quite difficult for you, because I'm not going to explain every single bass note that you need to play. I'll just say, okay, C, and we're alternating on that C chord, and you'll know that it's these two strings, and then I'll just be teaching you the chord shapes and the melody. So let's take a look at the first bar. Sounds like this, slowed down. Okay, so we're starting in a C shape. We're going to be walking down to this kind of A minor shape. So starting off in the C, we're going to hit strings 2, 3 and 5 together. Then for the first half of this bar, we're going to be following this pattern. 4, 3, 5, 2, 4, 3. If you can read the tab below, it will be much easier to kind of look at that and follow along. For the second half of the bar, we're playing those 3 strings again. 2, 3 and 5. Followed by 4, 3. Then we're changing chord shapes. We're taking this second finger up here to the 2nd fret on the 5th string, take this 3rd finger off, and we're going to hit that 5th string again. That's the bass note, it's now on here. So it's gone from there to there. And then you're now going to hit strings 4 and 3 open. So that second half of that bar, change like that. So that's now halfway through that kind of walking movement, and then we're going to start the next bar there. So that first bar again. The next bar sounds like this. This one might be a little bit easier for you, because once you've got the first chord shape, you don't need to move your left hand at all. You just pick different strings. So this is like an A minor, but we're going to take this 3rd finger off. So it's just these two. And once you've got that shape, you're just going to follow this pattern. It's 5, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4, 1. That's the first half of the bar. Then for the second half of the bar, it's going to be 5, 3, 4, 2, 5, 3, 6. So it's important to get that 6 at the end for that bass note, which is like one note before this note, which is the start of the next bar. Alright, so that bar slowly. So I didn't move my hand there at all, I'm just picking different strings here. So practice those 2 bars first of all, get used to the kind of rhythm of the song, try and build up to tempo. Those first 2 bars again. Okay, so if you can play those two confidently, the next bar shouldn't be too bad. Luckily, you don't need to move this hand at all anymore. Again, just like the second bar, so it's a F shape, but we're holding it like this. So I've got my first 3 fingers on the 1st fret 2nd string, 2nd fret 3rd string, 3rd fret 4th string, and then my thumb is over the top for that bass note, which is on the 1st fret of the 6th string. Now, the pattern isn't very different. So the first half of this bar is the same kind of pattern as the first half of the second bar. The only difference is, instead of those 2 bass notes, it's now going to be those 2. So that's strings 6 and 4. Okay, so holding this F shape, we've got this pattern. 6, 4, 2, 6, 3, 4, 1. Next half of the bar is 6, 3, 4, 2, 6, 3, 4. Like that. So you will need to build up the speed on that. But the next bar is not too difficult. It's like this. We do move this left hand a bit, just for a little hammer on in the 2nd string, but it's not too difficult. It's the G chord, so we've got a G bass note up here on the 6th string, 3rd fret. Holding just that string, no other notes, we're going to do 6, 4, 3, 6, 3, 4 for the first half of the bar, like that. Then we've got a hammer on, 2nd string, open to the 1st. And as that lands on that 1st fret, we're going to hit the bass note again on the 6th string. Then we've got 4, 3, 3, 4, sorry. Then we're doing a pull off on that same note, so 1 to open. As you get the pull off, come down on that bass note again. Then it's very similar, 3, 4, and we're getting ready to do another hammer on to get into the verse. So I'll play that bar slowly. Okay, so let's play the last 4 bars, the whole intro. So once you get used to that, it's really easy to play. It's just a case of getting the memory of what strings to play in your fingers, and it'll just be automatic. Once you get that, run to the verse. So this is verse 1. This is the kind of song where each verse is very similar but has slight variations. So I'll try and go over the first verse in as much detail as possible, and then the next verses should be a lot easier to learn because it's just slight tweaks. The first verse sounds like this. Okay, so that's the first part, the first 4 bars. A lot of it's kind of similar to the intro. We're kind of reinforcing this idea of the alternating bass notes, and they're exactly the same here as they were in the intro. So it's really important that you kind of get that in your thumb and you know what you're doing there. The first bar, slowly, is like this. So the bass notes there are just the same as the intro. So hopefully that part should be quite easy. The melody is what is new that we're adding underneath those bass notes. So this melody, after that first bass note, is like this. So we're starting on the bass note, and then you can hear me alternating that bass note while playing that first 3 notes of the melody, which is equally spaced open third strings. 1, 2, 3. Then we've got another bass note, and we're playing another open third string, but this time it's closely followed by another one. Next bass note. Then, just like the intro, we're swapping chords here. So we're bringing this finger up here, just like before, but now we're adding this finger under here, because that's where the next melody note is. So you want to play the bass note as usual, along with that new melody note. Quickly followed by the second string, which should be on the 1st fret, which is followed by your usual bass note, which is now the open 4th string, which is followed by open 1st string. Okay, so take a little bit of time to practice that one slowly. Shouldn't be too bad. The next bar is easier because we don't need to move this hand at all. We're back in this A minor shape. Take this finger off, remember? And it sounds like this. Okay, so that's just following a pattern, all single notes, so it's easy to kind of pick up. We've got 5, 4, 5, 3, 4, 2. That's the first half. The second half is like this. So that's going to be 5, 3, 4, 1, 5, 3, 6. Very similar to the intro. The next bar is based on an F shape. Sounds like this. Okay, so this isn't a normal F shape, we're doing it like this. So that first string is open. Now I've got my 3 fingers here. First one is on the 1st fret, 2nd string. Then on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Then on the 4th string, 3rd fret. And I've got my thumb over here for that bass note, which is on the 6th string, 1st fret. So our bass notes are now here, just like the intro, 6, 4. The melody, we're starting off with these notes. First 2 strings, open 1st, 1st fret 2nd. Hit them twice there, then twice again there. Take some time to read the tab and you'll see how that kind of lines up. Bass note again, play those strings one more time, then we've got another bass note there. At that point, we're bringing this finger that's free up here onto the 2nd string, 3rd fret. We're going to play that along with the 3rd string on the 2nd fret. Then the bass note again, then take this finger off, leaving this finger here. Play those 2 strings again. Bass note, then we're getting ready for this pull off, which takes it into the next bar. So it's on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. As you get that pull off, we're starting that next bar. So we're hitting that bass note, which is G. You might want to move to that G quite early. So I do it, yeah, like kind of as soon as I hit that bass note, I'm already up there, ready for that pull off. Last bar of this section is pretty easy. It's pretty much the same as the last bar of the intro. Sounds like this. So you should be able to play that one relatively easily. Let's just play the whole first part of the verse. Okay guys, so now we're into the second part of that first verse. Luckily, the first 2 bars are exactly the same. They sound like this. Then we're on to this bar. very similar, but this is where kind of knowing the original song helps. And you'll know that it's just a slight variation on the melody. So we're using the same F chord here. We're going to hit those strings 3 times here, with that bass note in the middle. Then, on the second half of the bar, take this first finger off, and we're just going to do a pull off there, on the first string, first fret, to open, at the same time that bass note, so it can be quite an awkward thing to do. Then, after that, once you've hit that bass note again, we're bringing this finger up here again, doing the same thing as you were before. So that's just the same. We're not doing the pull off this time. Remember, we had a pull off at the end of the equivalent bar on the first part. So it's just a slight change in melody. So if you can play the first part, this part shouldn't be too bad. The next bar is different. It's still based on the same G chord. Sounds like this. So we're just playing that melody. Starts off on the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. So we're playing that along with open 3rd string and the bass note, 6th string, 3rd fret. And these are repeating bass notes on this chord, remember. So we're doing a hammer on there. The hammer on is going to be the 1st fret to the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, using this finger for the hammer on. Like that. Remember, as we come down to that hammer on, we need to hit another bass note. Then we're lifting that finger off again straight away to hit that 2nd string 1st fret, so keep your finger held there when you do the hammer on, lift it off, and play that 2nd string again with the open 3rd. Bass note comes in there. Last part of the melody is a pull off on the 3rd string, 2nd fret to open. And that pull off comes on to another bass note as well. So just think about that bass note separately if you can, and then the melody. For the rest of the bar, we just play little filler notes. So hold that G shape, just this note here, and we're going to hit, after that pull off, it's 4, 3, 6, 3, 4. Like that. So I'll play the second part of the verse that we just learned. Now we're into the pre-chorus section. It's actually my favorite section to play. It's quite simple, but it's pretty different from the verses. 6 bars, sounds like this. So it's the same chords, just in a different order. We're starting with that F chord that we saw before, which means the bass pattern is here, 6 and 4. The melody for the first half of the bar, we're going to be holding that shape, and it's just going to be 3, 2, 1. So the pattern is like this. It's a little bit unusual, we've not played this kind of melody pattern yet. We've got the first bass note is paired with the first melody note, which is the 3rd string. Then we've got the next bass note, then the next melody note, which is the 2nd string, then the next bass note, then the next bass note with the next melody note together. For the next half of the bar, we're carrying on the bass pattern. Then we've got the third string paired with that bass note, 6th string. Then we're bringing this finger on that's free to the 3rd fret, 2nd string, and doing a pull off to the 1st fret, which is already held down here. And that's paired with the 4th string bass note. Like that. Okay, next bar is a G. It's actually quite similar in structure. Same kind of melody structure. The melody notes are open 2nd, 1st fret 2nd, 3rd fret 2nd. We're going to pair those with the open 3rd to give them a little bit more depth. Like that. And then we've just got the bass notes to add on top. So in terms of structure, it's just the same. I'll quickly explain those notes. We've got 2nd and 3rd open with the 1st bass note, next bass note, and then next melody note is the 1st fret, so put your finger on there. Also play that open 3rd string again. Then we've got the next bass note again, 6th string. Then bring this finger up here to the 3rd fret 2nd string and playing that with open 3rd and open 4th bass note. Next half of the bar. So we're doing bass notes as usual. At this point it's open 3rd with that bass note and then hammer on 1st fret to 3rd fret, 2nd string with that bass note. So that bar. The next bar is interesting. It's a little bit different. Still got the bass pattern, but we're switching it like that. So we're still doing that kind of walking motion, but we're doing C, switch, like that. And then the melody is playing a little run like this. This will take a little bit of practice. It will really help you if you can read the tab at this point to follow along. So we've got C, first of all. We're going to hit strings 1 and 5, followed by 4, 1 again, and we're doing a pull off. Keep that shape, and just do a pull off 3 to open on the 1st string. As you get that pull off, we're hitting the bass note, 5th string. Then it's 4th for the bass note. This is when we switch in preparation. So we switch a little bit early, and we're going to do a pull off from the 3rd fret to the 1st fret. So this finger comes off, that finger goes up here, like that, and we're adding this finger on here. 4th finger onto the 3rd fret, pull off to the 1st fret on the 2nd string. As you do the pull off, we've got our new bass note, which is the 2nd fret on the 5th string. Then 4th, which is now open, that's our new bass note. Then take this finger off, play the 2nd string open, and add this finger up here. So that's my 3rd finger going on to the 3rd string, 2nd fret. And play the 3rd and 5th strings together. Then we've got that bass note again, open 4th, then open 3rd. That's the end of that bar, but that open 3rd at the end there is going to be part of a hammer on. to the start of the next bar, and we're coming into an A minor shape here. Which means as you land that hammer on to the 2nd fret, you want to play that bass note. Okay, so let's play up to that point, because that's quite a lot to take in. Okay, so good job if you've got this far. The next bar is A minor. Just a little pattern here. So making a full regular A minor shape with that hammer on from the end of the last bar. We've got the bass note. That's going to be followed by strings 4, 2, 5, 3, 4, 3. That's the first half. Second half, 1 and 5, 4, 5, 3. For that 3 at the end, we don't play it on the 2nd fret, we take that finger off and play it open. So that bar should be quite easy compared to the previous ones. For the last bar of this section, or technically the 2nd last bar, we're coming back to an F shape, the regular F. We're starting off with 3 and 6, then 4, then 2, 1. At this point we're stopping the bass notes because we just want to highlight the melody, kind of strip it back a little bit. So you got 2, 1, 2, slap. So I just kind of lightly slap, you don't want anything too aggressive. Like that. This point, we're changing chord. You're going to have your first finger on the 1st fret, 3rd string. Then your 3rd and 4th fingers, so the 2nd finger is free. These 2 fingers are going to both be on the 3rd fret, 2nd string and 4th string. So if you play those 3 strings, it should sound like that. And we're bringing our thumb over the top again for the bass note. And hit that at the start of the next bar. That next bar is just that bass note, so try and get everything ringing out for that whole duration of the bar. It's quite difficult because your fingers kind of tend to start letting go after a certain point. But let's play through that whole section. Now we're into the chorus section. I think it's the hardest part of the song, but if you've learned all the other parts we've done so far, you should be able to pick this one up fairly easily. We're going to take it 4 bars at a time. The first 4 bars sound like this. So it's just the kind of the difficult transitions between the chords that make this kind of awkward, and it's got a higher melody, which makes it harder to play because the notes are kind of further apart. We're starting off with the C. This section has the same chords as like the intro and the verse. It's just C, walking down to that A minor, to F, to G. Okay, so starting with C, we've got the same bass pattern. We've got 5, 4, 3. Then we've got that melody note, 3rd fret, 1st string. Play it twice there with that bass note. We've got 4, 1, 5. Now we need to move, so we need to take this first finger down to the first string, instead of the second string, down to the first string. Play that note, first fret, first string, followed by 4. Then take that finger off, play the first string again, open. Now we need to move bass notes, same as before, taking that finger off, lifting this finger up here, play that bass note. Then there's our melody, so we're adding this finger on here, 3rd fret, 2nd string, play that with the 4th string bass note, which is now open, and then the 1st string open. Okay, play that slowly. That one is quite difficult. And the next bar is also difficult. It sounds like this. So we're playing this A minor, take this finger off. Similar kind of rhythmic pattern. We've got 5, 4, 3 to start us off, and then we're into the melody again. So playing that bass pattern, underneath we've got that 3rd fret 1st string note again. Once there, and then twice with the next bass note. Bass note, 5th string again. Then, again, we're moving that finger down to the 1st string, and we're going to play that 1st fret, 1st string note at the same time as carrying on our bass pattern. So we've got 4th string again, take that finger off, open 1st. At this point, we're actually changing chord to the G, which is a transitional chord, to the F, which is the next bar. So we're going to bring our finger up here to the G, play that one. So that's instead of the open 5th string, we've now got the G, and we're going to add this finger on here to the 2nd string, 3rd fret, play that one, open 4th bass note, and then 1st fret, 1st string again. So I'll try and play that slowly for you. So it's a kind of awkward movement. That's one of the hardest parts of this section. Take your time with that, play it slowly, try and bring it up to speed. That'll get us ready for the next bar, which sounds like this. This one isn't too bad in comparison. It's the F this time. Starts the same. 6, 4, 3. 6 again. Then the melody comes in on the 1st string, 1st fret. We've got that 3 times. Then at this point, it's open 1st with the bass note. Then bring in this finger on here, 3rd fret, 2nd string with the 6th string bass note. Then put this finger down here, lift this one up. So now we're on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. Play that with the 4th string bass note, followed quickly by open 1st. So let's see if we can play the first 3 bars of the chorus. The last bar of this section isn't too bad, it's the G. So we've got our bass notes on 6 and 4 repeating. And the only melody part is this. Pull off on the 1st string, first fret to open, second string, third fret, and then open first. That comes in just about maybe in between that bass note and the next one. So after 3 bass notes, we start it. And you're coming in there, pull off, landing on that bass note. Second string. And then first string with the 6th string. Then we just carry on those bass notes to the end of the bar. So I'll play those 4 bars together. Okay, so now we're kind of past the worst of it. We're getting into the main section of the chorus. So this is another 8 bars until the next verse. The first part is like this. Starts the same. A little bit different here. So on the second bar, we're going to be changing it so it sounds like this. It's not too different really. It's not too difficult to play either. Starts off the same. Now we've got open first with the open 5th bass note, and then play that open first again twice with the 4th string bass note, like that. Then we've got 5th string bass note again, then 4th string bass note, this time with a pull off on the 3rd fret 2nd string to the 1st fret 2nd string. Up here to the G bass note again, and we're going to play this melody. So that's open 2nd string followed by 2nd fret 3rd string here. That open 2nd string is played with the open 4th string bass note and 3rd. You'll notice there, I already kind of got prepared and went up to that F, because that's what the next bar is. This one's a bit odd. We start off just playing the bass notes 3 times, 2, 3. Then we've got 3rd string, which should be on the 2nd fret. Then we've got the bass note again with a hammer on. So we've got bass note on the 4th string, hammer on 1st string, or 2nd string, sorry, open to 1st fret. Then we've got the bass note, and then the 4th string bass note. Then at this point, we take this finger and just go like that. It's a pull off, or you can play both notes. It's the 2nd fret on the 4th string to open 4th string. Next bar. This one's quite nice and easy compared to the other ones in the chorus. It's on a G, so just hold that finger here for now on the bass note. We've got 3 bass notes, 6, 4, 6, then 4 again, but this time put this finger onto the 1st fret, 2nd string. Play those 2 together. Then we're playing the bass note 6th string again with open first. 4, 1, so that's the 1st string with the 3rd fret held down. 6, and then 2 and 4 again. So that 2nd string is still held down here. Next bar. This one's a little bit different, so we're back to the C bass note, hammer on there. So we've got C bass note, 4th string bass note, along with the 1st fret to 3rd fret on the 2nd string, hammer on. And then open 1st with the next bass note. Carry on that pattern. Then we're coming up here to the 8th fret. I use my 2nd finger for the bass note, 8th fret, and then my 3rd finger for the 2nd string, 8th fret, and I also play the open 3rd string. So that way we can match that bass note up here and play that nice melody note up here with the open 3rd string. And it also means the 4th string we play is open. That brings us to the next bar, down here, A minor. So this starts A minor, and then we transition with G back to F. So this is the normal A minor shape we've been making without this finger. And we're going to hit strings 1, 2, 3, and 5. Then it's followed by strings 4, 5, 3, 4, 2, and 5 together. 4, 1. So for all those notes, we don't move our left hand. Bring this free finger up for the G bass note, play that one, and then open 3rd and 4th together. So at that point you can lift all your other fingers off and just play those two. Getting to the end of the chorus now. So this is the F. We're going to start with the bass note, and then the 4th string bass note with a little hammer on the 3rd string, open to 2nd fret. Followed by the 2nd string, which is on the 1st fret, with that bass note. Then we're just carrying on the bass pattern for a little bit more, and then I end this bar with a little pull off, 3rd string to open, along with open 3rd. That sets us up really nicely for the last bar. Which is just the same as the last bar, the intro and the verse, or the pre-chorus, sorry. So it's just that kind of G with the hammer on and the pull off. And that takes us into the next verse. So I'll play through the whole chorus. Okay, so after that chorus, we're back into the verses. This next verse only has slight variations compared to the previous verses, and some of the bars are exactly the same. So let's get started with the first bar here. You'd be pretty hard pressed to find any difference there, but there is one. It's just the start of the melody. Instead of doing this, it's this. So we just come in a little bit quicker there. Apart from that, it's just the same, along with the next bar, which is also the same. From that A minor, we're into that F shape. You should be able to play this bar, because I think we have played this before. Or something very similar anyway. From that F, we're moving up to a G, same as usual. This G has a slightly different melody underneath it, so the bass notes are the same, but the melody is different. It sounds like this. It's not too difficult to play. It's basically, we're playing this G, strings 2, 3, 6. I've got my finger held down here and here. Play those, followed by the open first string for the next melody. And then the melody goes on to the second and third strings. Then I'm putting this finger down onto the first fret. Second string, I'm playing that with the open third, along with those bass notes in the middle there. Like that. Then we've got a little pull off here. So we're doing a pull off on the third string, second fret to open, and landing on that bass note. Then we just kind of finish off the bar. I add in those little filler notes that you hear there. Check out the tab below, see how they're kind of laid out. So we're doing pull off, bass note, and then 4, 3, 6, 3, 4. So let's play those 4 bars just to kind of refresh ourselves. So it helps if you listen to the original song, you kind of learn the melody lines. Helps kind of identify between the different verses. The next bar, the melody is different. I play it like this. Okay, this is quite a nice bar to play. It's a little bit higher than the other ones in melody. So we're starting with a C, but instead of like this, I'm holding it like this. So I'm just 2 fingers up here on the 4th string, 2nd fret, and the 5th string, 3rd fret. We're going to hit 5, then 4 and 1 together. So that's the melody coming in there on that 1st string. We're going to hit that 1st string twice. And then the bass note, 1st string again, another bass note. Then the melody continues. 3rd fret there, up to the 5th fret with this finger. Take that finger off and play it open 1st string, up to the 3rd fret 2nd string, and then open 1st string. Like that. Play that slowly for you. Once you've got that, we're back onto A minor, same as before. From the A minor, we're back onto F. That bar is the same as the previous F, but we do have one more instance of those 2 strings being played, the 1st and 2nd. So if you listen out, it's there. So just before that pull off, we play that one more time. That's the only difference there. Then the next bar, the G, is the same as the last G as well. From there, we're just into the same pre-chorus and chorus. Alright, so I just want to talk about the next chorus a little bit, because the ending is slightly different. It's extended, so the melody goes on for longer. So before, it was like this. We would just have those hammer-ons and pull-offs into the next verse. But this time round, we're going to continue playing the chorus. So when you get to that point, you're on this G, and you're playing the bass notes. The melody comes back in. So the melody notes are going to be open first, 3rd fret first, and then 2nd string, 1st fret, along with those bass notes in there as well. So that bar. Then we're back to a C for the next bar. Okay, so this is kind of different. We've got C bass notes going all the way through, apart from the last beat, where we're changing to that, like we normally would. So we've got C, we've got a little hammer on here, so it's going to be the 4th string and the 2nd string together. It should be on the 1st fret here, hammer on to the 3rd fret. Then back to the 1st string and the 5th string. Keep going with those bass notes. When you get to the last beat, you're going to want to change your finger position. So this 1st finger comes up to the 2nd fret, 5th string, and you want to use your 4th finger, maybe your 3rd finger, to get the 5th fret on the 1st string, because that's where our melody is now. So you're hitting that along with the 5th string, and then you're hitting the 4th string bass note. Then you can either change finger to, you know, your 3rd finger or 2nd finger, or move your 4th finger down, but you want to be on the 3rd fret, 1st string, and you want to pull off there. And then as you do the pull off, we're into the next bar, which is A minor. So we're landing on that A minor bass note. Right, so that bar. Sounds like that. The A minor carries on. So that's just kind of carrying on the melody. We're playing our bass notes. Melody's there on the 1st fret, 2nd string. Then it's on the open 1st string with that bass note in the middle. And we're coming up here for that G transition. Then you can take your fingers off and we're just hitting strings 3 and 4 together, open. Straight away, coming into the F again. Bass note. Hammer on open to 2nd fret on the 3rd string with the bass note. Then 1st fret, 2nd string, and 1st fret, 6th string together. Carry on the bass notes. Then it's just the same. So the ending there, it was just the same as the last chorus. Alright guys, good job if you made it this far. We're on to the bridge section of the song now, which is near the end. Starts off with this E7 chord, so it's like an E shape, but we're taking this finger off. Get that E7. So the first bar of the bridge is like this. Okay, so our bass notes there are the 6th string and the 4th string. They're actually both open. So once you've done this strum, you don't actually need to keep your fingers here because the melody is all on the 1st and 2nd strings. So we don't need those fingers there. I tend to leave them on until I get to the next part of the melody. Until I get to that slide. So we're just repeating those bass notes on the 2nd beat. So here, we're going to bring the melody in again. We're going to hit that open 1st string twice. Then 3rd fret, 1st string. Bass note again. Then we're doing a quick slide up to the 5th fret on that 1st string. When I do that slide, that's normally when I take these fingers off. Like that. So once you get that slide, we've got another bass note, and then we're coming back down to the 1st fret, 2nd string, playing that, open 6, then we've got 3rd fret, 2nd string with the next 4th string bass note, and then open 1st. The next bar is an A minor. That's just another string pattern. Don't need to move that hand at all. With your right hand, you're going to be hitting strings 5, 4, 5, 3, 4, 2, and then 5, 3, 4, 1, 5, 3, 4. Third bar. Exactly the same as the first bar of the bridge. So let's play those three together. The next one, back on an A minor, but it's slightly different this time. I'll just play it. Shouldn't be too challenging for you. We got our bass notes. It's just going to be that all the way through. So open 5th and then 4th on the 2nd fret. And the melody, we're doing a pull off from the 3rd fret to the 1st fret on the 2nd, after the 1st bass note. Like that. So the pull off is at the same time as that 4th string. Then I change my position here slightly. I take this first finger off the 1st fret, 2nd string, and I add this finger, 3rd finger, underneath my 2nd finger on the 2nd fret, 3rd string. From there, I'm hitting 2 and 4, 3, then we're just carrying on like that. So bass notes with little filler notes on the 3rd string. So let's play those 4 bars together this time. Okay, next F. This one took me a little bit to get used to it, but it's not too bad once you do. Bass notes are just there, 6 and 4 all the way through. Melody comes in at this point. So the melody starts with a hammer on, open 3rd string to 2nd fret. We're landing on that bass note, remember. After you've done that hammer on, you're doing another one straight away on the 2nd string, open to 1st fret. After that, you've done that hammer on, you've got another bass note, and then we've got 2nd string, 3rd fret. Carry on the bass notes. Then I take my middle finger and lift that up. So that's my 2nd finger there. I lift that up because I want to get access to this open 3rd string. I play that with the bass note, followed by 2nd string, still on the 1st fret. Bass note, and I add this finger back on and play that 3rd fret, 2nd string again. Those last 4 kind of notes are all quite quick together. Like that. So you want to practice that bar a little bit. Next bar. This one's easier. We're on a C. We're just playing the C bass notes all the way through. Starts off with the 5th string and the 1st string open together. So basically, at the end of the previous bar, when we played that note, it leads straight onto that one, like this. Okay, so once you get that melody note, we're carrying on the bass notes. We've got a little filler note in there, so we've got 5, 5, 4, 5, 3, 4. And then after that bass note, you've got a 1st fret 2nd string. Onto the second half, we've got the 5th string, then the 3rd, 4th. Like that. It's just a little kind of filling pattern to kind of, so you're not just playing the bass notes, there's a couple of middle notes in there as well. The melody comes back in at this point for the last beat. That's the melody, so we're doing a hammer on the 2nd string. 1st fret's 3rd fret, and then open 1st string twice. So with the bass notes. So the hammer on gets the 5th string, and then the 2 open 1st strings get the 4th string. From there, we're on to a G. So there's not too much movement here. We're holding a G chord, 2 fingers held down on the 3rd fret, 2nd string and 6th string. Hit 6, 4, 2 and 3 together, and then again with the bass note. Bass note again there after that. Bringing this finger down here, lifting this one up, so we're on the 1st fret now. Play 2 and 3 again. Then for the second half of the bar, we're playing that again with the hammer on this time and the bass note. Like that. So up to there. Okay. Carrying on the bass notes. Then we lift this finger off and we play the 1st fret again on the 2nd string with the open 3rd. Nothing too complicated there. And for the next bar, we're keeping this G chord. Sounds like this. So at the start of that bar, we're playing the bass note again with the open 1st, 4th string bass note. So that part again, just the same as the previous bar. So we're playing 2nd and 3rd strings. I'm on the 3rd fret here on the 2nd string. Once by themselves, once with the bass note. 4th string bass note, bringing that finger down again, so I'm on the 1st fret now. Play it once again with the bass note, open 3rd, open 4th, 6, 4. Like that. So I'll just quickly go through the whole bridge. Okay, so after the bridge, we're into the ending of the song. We're just going to play one more chorus, but it's really stripped back at the start. I'm not going to go through it all, because if you can play the chorus already, this part should be really easy. The difference is we're not playing the alternating bass notes. We're not putting too many notes in the middle or adding too much. We're literally just starting with a strum on the C, and then playing the melody. We've got our walking bass notes there. The transitional notes. The exception is on this F here, we're playing 6, 4, 3, and then back to the melody. That melody is just by itself there. Coming in for the G. We got a little run here, so we're doing a pull off on the 1st fret open, 3rd fret 2nd, and then open 1st. At the end of this G bar, I do a little run It's like a little triplet run. It's on the 6th string, 3rd fret, open 5th string, hammer on to the 2nd fret, and then 3rd fret for the start of the next bar. It's quite difficult. You can just skip it if you want. When you get to the next bar, we're playing the chorus again. Each bar has got slight variations, so I'll play through them and highlight the variations, but you should be able to pick them up fairly easily. So there, we went up to the 5th fret on the 1st string instead of down to the 1st fret on the 1st string. Compared to... Okay, next bar. This is one of my least favorite bars because it's actually really awkward to play once you look at the tab and see how it's laid out. So the melody is going, starting the same, but then we're going up to the 1st fret on the 1st string. Then we're playing open 1st to 3rd fret 2nd. There. And then, as you're playing that, you want that to ring out and you want to try and stretch this finger up to there without moving that finger and just distorting the note. It's actually really hard to do, smoothly anyway. And at that point, you need to also lift that finger off, get onto the 1st fret here on the 2nd string, which you should be already, and then you're playing the 4th string open bass note with that 2nd string on the 1st fret. Then putting this finger down here onto the 2nd fret 3rd string. Like that. Then we're into the F bar. That's just the same, apart from the end there. Those two melody notes are different. They're both on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, each got one bass note with them. Pretty easy stuff. From there, we're just carrying on as usual. Everything else is the same from the last chorus. This part is the same as before. It's extended. And we played this part, which we learned about 5 minutes ago. Carry on to the end of the song, playing this bar with the hammer-ons and pull-offs. Slow it down, end on a C, and do a little hammer-on that 1st fret. Thank you guys for watching that tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and hit subscribe. You can also check out my new Patreon page below, and I'll see you in the next video.